Welcome back, SPN family and YouTube alike. And today we are here to review Supernatural Season 14, Episode number 5. Yeah, Episode number 5, entitled Nightmare Logic. But before we do that, we're going to have to roll our credits and stuff. But give me 1 second. Oh, Shinobi Wolf. Apparently, there's an evil Shinobi duplicate roaming around somewhere in this world.
Sure thing.
Find him.
Omni-meta.
Get Pirate Wolf, find him, and take care of it.
Oh. Do as you.
Okay. So let's just roll the credits and get on with the show, shall we? Right quick. Yeah. So let's continue with this recap review, shall we? So, it opens on the scene of one of the new hunters, Maggie, and she's wandering around a graveyard at night. Really? I mean, you know where you are, you know what exists there in that world, and you're still wandering around a graveyard at night? Really? So, Maggie's wandering around a graveyard at night. Apparently, she's on a hunt, though. Okay, I guess. Still, well, yeah, alright. Okay, so she's on a hunt, and she's wandering around the graveyard at night, and she goes into the mausoleum to investigate. And she's on her camera, and she's saying that she's thinking it's a ghoul. She's recapping what she's done so far, and all that. And, well, she turns around, and this Nosferatu-looking mighty freaker just bum rushes her, and it cuts to the intro segment. And then we open on the scene of the bunker, and Sam is giving a lecture. How very teacher/general of you, Sam. Interesting. Dean's watching. Dean and him talk about it for a moment, and eventually Sam makes it known that there are hunter check-ins, and one of the hunters missed check-in, and he said it's Maggie. And then they go and find the camera footage on the server. And Dean's like, you have them all wearing body cams now. And Sam's like, yeah. And if the best way for them to learn to hunt is to watch each other. And then Dean adds, and then if there's something goes wrong, then you have a place to start. And Sam's like, yeah. So Sam and Dean are on the case. And they drive off. And they find the place. And they're looking around the mausoleum, figuring out what happened to Maggie. They realize that she was drug off somewhere. So they continue to investigate, but they're startled by the gardener, or groundskeeper, and he questions them as to what they're doing there. They say they come up with a line that they're from the Historical Society, and well, they go eventually inside the house to talk to the owners. A guy's talking to him in there, and the guy says, why does it take more than 2 of you? And then they were like, 2 of us. And they turn a corner, and it's Bobby and Mary. Barry, the Mary Bob ship. The good ship Mary Bob. Barry, yeah, hashtag Barry, are on the case as well. And they come across to find out that the person they were talking to is only the owner's nurse. So they are taken to see the owner. Oh, and there was a funny moment where they said, I really wish you'd have checked in with the main office. And Bobby said the main office is run by a bunch of idiots. That's funny. That was enjoyable. And so they continue on to find out that the owner, laid up in the bed, is that same Nosferatu-looking mighty freaker from before. And they look at him, and they're like, if he's here, where's Maggie? And it cuts to a scene of Maggie chained up in a sex torture dungeon with IVs, draining the blood from her vital youth-filled vessel. So then we cut away to a commercial break. So we come back on the scene to Sam and Dean and Mary and Bobby and the nurse and the old man all in the bedroom. And they begin asking about the old man. And it turns out that the old man's daughter is there too. So the daughter comes in and they begin talking to her as well. And they're trying to get background on the place and on the old man and on everything. But the daughter decides she doesn't want to, the daughter can't deal with this right now. And just kicks them out. So they go outside and we have a bit of an argument with Bobby and Sam and Dean and whatnot. Because Bobby thinks that Sam's leading wrong because Bobby leads better. And they're having all these mixed combative matches. And they split up and eventually to investigate what's happening on these grounds. So Sam and Mary take off in one place, and Dean and Bobby take off to another, and they begin their investigation. As we go along, Dean is out there, and Mary and Sam are out. Mary and Sam find a hunter's wallet, or they find a wallet with a bunch of different IDs in it, and they're like, this is a hunter's wallet. And they cut over to Dean, who has found a body. Him and Bobby have gotten split up. Dean's trying to find him and couldn't. And they'd gotten split up, and Dean finds the body of the person's wallet that Sam and Mary have found. And they continue on with Dean finding this body and being attacked by the same Nosferatu-looking mighty freaker from before that is also the old man laying in the bed. And he attacks Dean. And eventually, Dean gets the upper hand and takes him out. And the guy explodes into a cloud of dust. And Dean's like, what the hell? So he leaves the room where he just killed the guy in. And he finds Bobby outside. And he's like, where the hell were you? What happened to you? And Bobby's like, I could ask you the same question. And we cut back to the house with the daughter. And the daughter hears something from the attic and begins to go investigate. And another vampire tries to attack her. And she runs away screaming. And we cut to a quick break. And then we cut back to the daughter talking to the nurse. Something attacked her. I believe that the hunters are there in the room as well. Sam and Mary and Sam. And eventually Dean and Bobby come back. Or Dean comes back. Bobby stayed outside. And Dean said he found a body. And they showed him the IDs. And Dean's like, yeah, that's the guy. And so they turned out that the daughter was attacked by something and scared away. She was about to go investigate the attic. Well, she didn't go into the attic. So Sam decided he's going to go into the attic. And Dean's going to stay behind and guard the girl and the nurse. And Mary is going outside to talk to Bobby. So we go up, we cut around a bit. We have a talk between Dean and the daughter, and it turns out that the father was never around. The daughter found her mother committed suicide at the age of 12. God, that just got really dark. And we find that, or Dean talks to her and tells her to let it go. It's only baggage. It's weighing her down. And she's like, is that what you do? And he's like, it's what I try to do every day. Dean always keeps fighting. It's a nice message. Like, you can almost in every episode point out the moment that returns to always keep fighting. And that's an amazing message. And that is awesome. And that's why I've adapted it in my outro. So go ahead and also like and subscribe and say it back in the comments below. And yes. So anyways, we find Sam has gone upstairs and he finds Maggie and he's attacked by the vampire and he kills it and it blows up in a cloud of dust. And outside, Bobby is attacked by a man with his eyes burned out, wielding angel blades. And it turns out it's his son that died in the war with the angels in the apocalypse world. Holy shit. This episode has just gotten so much darkness all of a sudden. Like, damn. So, eventually, it gets the upper hand on Bobby, and he pins him to a tree with an angel blade, and begins telling him that the angels crucified him. And then Mary comes along, and attempts to fight him, and he gets the upper hand, and he's strangling Mary to death. And Bobby musters up the strength, and he pulls the blade out of his own body, and rushes and kills his son. And it explodes in a cloud of dust. Now, we're very confused within this. That at some point they talked about how maybe the father is a psychic and making these things happen. And we're very lost at this moment. And we cut away to to a commercial from this point. And now, we'll return after these messages from the Wolf Den. Here, Pirate Meadow will stand out a little bit.
Well, now, isn't this quite
Everybody's in the back.
a union?
Yes.
You guys are on
Here we
this
are.
mission too.
Pirate, Shinobi, Light Wolf, and Metal Wolf. I thought they were sent for this. What do I know?
I mean, I guess he's got a little bit of.
White Wolf.
Well,
Metal
no,
Wolf.
that's
I guess that would
That's-
explain why you never checked.
What are
the
you
Shadow
doing
Wolf.
there?
You know,
You dick.
And why didn't you be checking with us?
Well,
We've
we've
been
been
traveling
traveling the multiverse for
Hey,
over
Shinobi.
2 years,
Oh,
searching
great.
for
Metal Wolf.
allies. And all
Yeah.
we ever find is a bunch of idiots.
So we cut back to the set bedroom, and Dean is walking in and sees the nurse standing over the old man in the bed. And the old man is rigged up to a blood transfusion machine. And Dean's like, oh, you're giving him a blood transfusion. And the nurse is like, yeah, it helps his iron. And Dean's like, no, I know what that is. You're taking his blood. You're not giving him blood. You're a djinn. And the guy's like, yes, I am, but you already knew that. And Dean's like, what? And the guy's like, you told me to do this. And Dean's like, oh, no, you're thinking of Michael. No, I'm here to kick your ass now. So, we continue on to see them have a desperate struggle after a few moments, and they fight it out. And eventually Dean wins by totally improvising with whatever was around and bashed the dude's skull inside out. And that worked. And then Dean emptied a clip in his ass. And I looked at that and I was like, stupid, waste of ammo. So worth it. Deadpool. Yeah. So, that was pretty cool, I guess. Yeah. Whatever. And we continued on from there to everything getting cleared up with with Dean and the Jinn and everything. So we cut back to the bunker eventually. And we have Sam and Dean on the phones warning all the other hunters around about the hunter traps. It's because it was revealed that when Dean found the Jinn that there are traps of monsters, superpowered monsters, juiced up with Archangel Grace, in traps waiting to kill as many hunters as they can. Yeah, so Sam and Dean are on the phones warning other hunters. And eventually Dean finishes his statement by saying, spread the word. And I'm like, yay! Spread the word. Spread the word. Smile dog. Rockin'. Alright. So we have a scene with Mary and Bobby talking about what had happened. And Bobby tells the whole story about his family, about his platoon, about the fight, and about losing his son. And it was a very sad moment. But Mary says, I'm not going to let you walk away from me. And we're going to figure this out together. So we cut away from them. We cut back to Sam and Dean and celebrating the fact that they brought Maggie home. Dean says, you did this. So eventually Bobby and Mary come into the area and say we have to talk. And I knew this shit was going to happen. We have a big group of people, a big cast, and we got to follow them in every episode. We got so many different BM scenes. What's that? Oh, I hope this will work. Okay, just one second. And we got many people for different BM scenes. What's that? But I knew this would happen. They have people leave and go elsewhere. And it gets back to just the boys. But it's okay. You know. But sometimes I wish they'd keep people around. And I really, 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 really wish they would bring back Gabriel and keep him around. And I'm very, 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 very upset that they killed him. Just keep that in mind. So anyways, we continue on. Mary and Bobby are going to take a break for a while. Because it turns out Bobby was trying to get himself killed hunting. And Mary's like, I'm not letting that happen. We're going to get you right. And we're going to always continue to fight. AKF. So they're going to take a break for a while. And we're back to Sam and Dean. And we have a moment at the end with Sam and Dean. And Dean was saying he was thinking he was about to get over it. And then this happened. And Sam's like, none of this is your fault. And Dean's like, I know he did this, but still. And then Sam's like, but we're going to find a way to kill him. And Dean's like, how? And Sam's like, we'll find a way. and like we always do, and always will, and don't ever change. Get 'em, boys. So that'll be Wolf 420, and this will be Supernatural Season 14, Episode number 5, entitled Nightmare Logic. Recap review. And all in all, good episode. And I'm going to say, everybody, always keep fighting. Have an awesome day. Be excellent to each other. And as always, people, peace out. Oh. Right. Well, I guess you'd probably have to know what happened with the wolf den, right? No? Nobody cares? Well, I'll just sum it up here. So it turns out that Meta and Light Wolf and Dude Wolf and Emo Wolf are now home. Their journey through the multiverse has finally landed them back here. And the evil shinobi was a trap. And evil Meta is still out there. And I'm the Omni Meta. And we're going to continue the reviews. And whatever shit's going to happen is going to be happening in the Wolf Den now, probably. There's 50 characters on screen stuff. It's so frickin' difficult. Mother fudger. Okay. Anyways. Yeah, so that's what happened with them. So, there you go. And I'll say it again. Please keep fighting. Have an awesome day. Be excellent to each other. And as always, people, peace out.